Hello, welcome back on this lovely-ish summer evening. And what we're going to have a look at here is the removal of flexible brake pipe, older vehicle, corroded, an approach to try and get them off without causing too much damage to everything around them. Okay, here is the offending flexible hose, flexible brake pipe. And you'll see on this vehicle here, there's actually a dual braking system. So you have two flexibles coming down from two brake pipes from the slave cylinder, and they feed the cylinders in the back of the brake independently. So theoretically, no matter what happens, you're always going to have some sort of brake. And of course, these get corroded in very badly, and particularly at this end, where the flexi meets the brake pipe. That's very difficult sometimes to get off, and particularly when you don't want to cause damage to the brake pipe on this side, which is the thing you want to really avoid at all costs. So what are we going to do? And the dilemma, of course, is that you cannot really undo one part of the pipe from the cylinder end without undoing the connection with the brake pipe, because they want to spin independently. So really the thing to do is to work out a way that you can get the pipe to be able to turn independently at both ends, thus avoiding putting real pressure on the coupling from the brake pipe just initially. So how are we going to do this? Right, so cylinder side, not really too difficult. As usual, spanner on, apply a bit of brute force and get it loosening. Now, that means then that as the pipe begins to turn, you're beginning to put pressure on the other side here, where we're meeting the brake pipe. And what we don't want to do is to have because theoretically that the coupling there from the solid brake pipe into the flexi should turn, but of course with years of grime and grit and so on, it just does not want to move. So how are we going to get around that? Well, in this instance, the problem has actually been solved for me in a sense, because the problem here was that the corrosion was so bad around the flexi where it was adjoining its coupling into the brake pipe that it split. And this is exactly what you want to happen. Now, if your pipe hasn't come apart naturally, cut it, all right? And then you're working on two halves independently. So then that means that the bottom end will spin out without any trouble. So we'll just take that away. All right, there we go. So with a wee bit of releasing fluid in there, you can obviously get that one to move reasonably straightforwardly. And off it comes. And then you can actually see in there what happened. That's a press fastening where there's a needle goes up into the coupling, and that is the nut that should be on the other end of the pipe, joining on to the brake pipe. Right, so what are we going to do at the other end where we know that we don't want to damage the coupling at the back of the brake pipe? Right, really very straightforward. We're going to make sure that the coupling on the brake pipe doesn't move. So spanner on the coupling and make sure that it's held firmly. Okay, and then in reverse order, we simply get big pair of grips on the remaining part of the flexible pipe, and we're going to turn it away like so. And by doing that, we then break the joint, and hi presto, pull flexi pipe off, and our coupling on the Brake pipe still absolutely sound. Okay, now the issue of course becomes that in order to get the new flexi pipe back in, we're going to be fixing it into the cylinder end, and then we've got to get the end of our brake pipe here to work as if it was 30 years ago, and the nut coupling needs to spin in order to go inside the new pipe. So how do we get this to spin? Given that if it doesn't spin, then whenever we twist this in order to put it back into the flexi pipe, we will actually twist our brake pipe and destroy it. The answer lies in a little bit of heat. Okay, so make sure you have something up there which is going to protect the rubber on any other hoses from a little bit of heat, and then simply introduce a little bit of heat to the nut. Simple as that. And as you do that, you should have a little spanner against it, and you'll find that it will begin to move. As it begins to move, get a bit of releasing fluid up and around it, and before too long, believe it or not, you'll find that you'll have a spinny coupling ready for reconnection. Right, so there we go, and one new pipe. So now we're going to be able to turn that back into the cylinder and secure it. Feed the pipe up round to its position in place, and screw our original pipe back up in again. So in essence, what it comes down to is that if you have a pipe that's corroded, make the two ends independent, cut it. As I say, in this instance it fell apart anyway, but cut it, split it in two. That means you can then turn out this side, and at the top end you will hold your brake pipe in place and actually turn the pipe and coupling. So pipe steady, twist the old pipe off, unencumbered, that's connection to the cylinder. So that's it. So this has just been about getting that old pipe out, and now we'll get the new one back in, and we'll bleed the brakes and so on, but that will be another story. Yep, so as always, I hope that's been useful, and if so, please do subscribe, like, share, and thank you as always. Bye.